Vice President Biden, I didn't hear your response when the issue came up of all those deportations. You were Vice President of the United States. I didn't hear whether you tried to stop them or not, using your power, your influence in the White House.
Mr. Vice President, it looks like one of us has learned the lessons of the past and one of us hasn't.
Mr. Vice President, you can't have it both ways. You invoke President Obama more than anybody in this campaign. You can't do it when it's convenient and then dodge it when it's not.
Well, former President Barack Obama wasn't on the debate stage last week, and yet criticizing him was one of the main focal points for a number of the 2020 Democrats. So why are they ditching President Obama's legacy rather than embracing it like Republicans did, for instance, with Ronald Reagan? A tale of two legacies. Here to weigh in is presidential historian Doug Wead. Doug, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Steve.
What did you make of how stridently the attacks came on the Obama legacy?
Yeah, well, this isn't about what the American people want or the Democrat Party want. It's what a very tiny group of Democrat activists want, and they're more socialist, and they don't want to go back to Obama, and that's who the Democrat nominees need. They need to plug into those activists. They will help raise the money. They'll organize the early caucus states like Iowa, the early primary states, New Hampshire, Nevada. The majority of the voters in the South Carolina early primary will be African American. They're driven by this activist socialist base, and so that's who they're going after.
Well, go ahead, and you've got a unique worldview of history. Go ahead and compare the way the Republicans have embraced Ronald Reagan through the years as opposed to how these Democrats have, well, at least at that particular debate, gone after his legacy.
Yeah, very, very different. We like Barack Obama. We elected him, and we felt better about ourselves, and we re-elected him. But we elected Ronald Reagan. He changed the world. When he was first elected, no one expected him to win the Cold War, but he did. And we just thought he would fight a better fight. I mean, stop and think. In the Soviet Union, it was against the law to listen to Bach. So, right. And the professors on campus were saying we need to accept the fact we're headed towards the Soviet era. So Ronald Reagan changed the world. No one wants to go back to Obama, 16% unemployment for African Americans, but they like the legacy of Ronald Reagan and turning the world upside down.
Well, you cited some statistics there. Barack Obama's approval rating, according to Gallup, is 60%. Here in the United States, with 90% among Democrats. So you would think that it would fly in the face of conventional wisdom that you attack a guy who is so popular.
Yep, but it's the activist base that will help those Democrat nominees get the nomination. They need the people who will work, who will get on the phones, get online. And so that's the finite group they're going after right now. And no one wants to go back to Obama. We love Obama. We love the fact that he won that election. We re-elected him as president. But, I mean, there are 3.6 million people off of food stamps, according to the Associated Press. And the Trump economy, no one wants to reverse that and go back to where we were.
Well, Doug, I don't know that there would have been the attacks on the legacy of Barack Obama if Joe Biden, his vice president, wasn't on the ticket. Because, out there in the primary. Because right now, Joe Biden is way ahead, and everybody else on that stage would like to knock him down a peg or two. And to do that, you got to go after the legacy of the Obama-Biden administration.
You're right, but he's ahead. He's ahead in these national. Oops, sorry.
Oops.
He's ahead in these national polls. It's not who's ahead in these polls. It's who's ahead with these activists that will win the nomination.
All right, Doug, thank you very much. Sorry you lost the mic right there. All right, Doug Wead. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right.